Hello and welcome to another edition of Power of the Pen. I am your host, LaWanna Bradford. I am also a best-selling author, speaker, influencer, and also known as the connector. I help people to create opportunity in the chaos. And I am so excited because, as you know, this platform, we typically are featuring authors in their written work and having that conversation to create greater awareness of their message. But I also felt it's real important that we have a conversation around the partnerships, the strategic partnerships that we need in order to expand that written journey even more. One of the things that has changed in today's environment is most people have a mindset that being an author is a solo journey. Well, it can be if you choose to be in that old mindset and stay in that box of limitation. But when you realize that it's a team sport, for lack of a better word, and that there is brilliance in the partnership, suddenly that message begins to echo and resonate around the world. And I'm excited because today I have an amazing partner and friend, and who is my publicist of the Bradford Group and the Bradford Group Consulting, who will be joining us. And we're going to talk about partnerships, but also what she does to help me and others to expand our impact, our influence, and our income. And before we get started, I'll let you see a little video that introduces her brilliance. Welcome, Dr. Tamara Patzer, aka Tami. How's it going?
Great. That sure brought back a lot of good memories.
You've done a lot of amazing work and it's still continuing. And you were the first person that I thought of to kick off our resource series for authors. I couldn't think of anyone better fit because of your breadth and depth of experience in messaging, in mass communication, right? Because we can go to Google University all day long. It tells us what to do, but not so much how to do it. And the thing that we miss when we get into Google University is we lose the lens of that expert who can give us that feedback, who can help us to course correct. And for the past, I can't believe it's been 4 years, Tami.
Wow.
You have been the publicist for my company, the Bradford Group and the Bradford Group Consulting. And I didn't realize how important it was to have someone partnering with me to help me navigate this maze of messaging and communication.
Wow. 4 years. And it really is a puzzle. And the time that people waste thinking that they can get all the information from Google is amazing to me, because I mean, they literally can spend years stumbling around until they find their path. When if you work with someone, you can like erase years and go from invisible to visible, sometimes literally in days, not weeks, but days.
Exactly. And because of your lane, both in education and professionally, and now as a serial entrepreneur, you've sharpened your lens. So there's things that you're going to see that no matter how long I'm in this world of messaging, I'm just not going to see because my eyes haven't been trained to see and catch certain things, right?
Yes, because if you look at today, that here we are in 2022 is when we're doing this interview. I can go back to, I hate to say this, the 1970s, when I first started interviewing my mom on my cassette player, because my mom was a writer, and we used to have these great pretend interviews. I was the interviewer, and of course she was the famous author. And I can look back at that, and I caught the bug of media very early on, even though back then the publishing business was very, very different, because you had to have an agent, you had to be published by a New York or a Los Angeles publisher. It was a very different landscape than it is today, when people can actually either self-publish or join with what I would call hybrid publishers. That's what I am. I'm a hybrid publisher publicist. And because of my educational background, I have the master's degree in mass communications. I went to Eckerd College for creative writing and business. So I built my foundation up. And then, of course, I went on to University of Oregon for mass communications there. And I also taught mass communications at several colleges in Florida, including the University of South Florida in Tampa. And I created a social media certification program for Florida Gulf Coast University. So what I did, that's important for people to know who are looking at publishing and media and marketing, is to mash it up. You need to understand what I call old school media, which would be broadcast, television, radio, newspapers, magazines. Mash it up to new media, which would be Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, whatever the flavor of the day of social media is now. And you have to mash it together. And I call that a new media mash, because you are creating this foundation, and you said it is your message, it is your marketing, and publishing is like one of the fastest ways you can create that authority, that celebrity status, that expert status. So it's important, but it doesn't stop with that book. That's literally a foundational piece. And most people, they don't understand that it doesn't stop with the publication or even bestseller status. That's the beginning, and it's beyond the bestseller. Everything I do is all about leveraging, and it goes beyond the podcast, beyond the bestseller, beyond whatever you're doing in a moment in time, because you want it to be useful forever.
I love what you're saying there. And for me, coming from the lens of a strategic lens, so as a 30-year serial entrepreneur and strategist, and as well as financial analyst, so I kind of mash those elements together, and I help clients realize, when we're having this conversation about messaging, I can help you develop the strategy, the what you need to do, and even the how, but the execution is then where the handoff comes to individuals such as yourself, who now have the expert, as you said. Now you're in this hybrid environment, taking traditional messaging with the current environment, and creating this unique intersect to enhance the visibility, the impact, and, as your banner is saying, to promote, to create impact, influence, and income. And we hear those buzzwords a lot. We help you to create impact, influence, and income. But I want to, for the audience, to kind of unpackage what those words mean, because people sometimes get so used to saying things, they really have a limited understanding of what we mean. So in your lens, when you're talking about working with authors, how do you help them to create impact first, income, influence second? And we know income is a byproduct of those two.
Right. Well, for me, impact. Think about it. We live in a world now where anyone can become a publisher, and we've seen it. It can be both positive and negative. But to me, what impact is, it's most of us have this big message and this big mission. So when you become an author, you are able to share your heartfelt reason, your big why. So it all starts with the big why, and the fact that you are able to access millions, billions of potential listeners or audience is huge, because you literally have the entire world is the stage for you, and you want to get up there and have an impact. And the impact that you want, again, for most people, they want it to be uplifting. They want their message to inspire, to help other people. So the impact part is when you become an author and you leverage it, you're able to impact more people and attract more people. For me, it's all about omnipresence. And what that really means is, if you're using your author status properly, people will say, haven't I seen you out there? Or I see you everywhere. And when people say that to me, I know that I'm making an impact, and that's the start of it. And influence, again, influence and impact go hand in hand. But the way that I call it blue ocean authority, and blue ocean, the strategy means, that is more of a business type thing. But blue ocean authority is where you become the only choice in the sea of possibilities. That's what blue ocean authority is. And again, when you have influence, that means that people look to you as a leader. People are looking to you as someone who they should emulate, or someone they want to do business with. So I think that is just a way to look at impact and influence, so that you can understand where I'm coming from when I'm trying to convey that message to you.
I like you brought up, the blue ocean, and your one of the verticals in your company is Blue Ocean Authority. And for those of you that may have heard the term, but you're not familiar really with its meaning, when you're thinking about blue ocean, as Tami said, that's where the opportunities lie. You're not in infested shark waters that are all, trying to get the chum, right? Where red water. You want to be in blue ocean, where most people aren't daring to go. And I love that your business is so aptly titled Blue Ocean Authority. And so it's helping us to understand where is the blue ocean for us in our particular message, but then how do we rise up and be that figure, that recognizable figure of authority is very key. And I want to bounce something off of you, Tami. We know that not everyone, but right now we have a lot of people running around with the label of coaches or publicists. And like you said, it's easy to self-publish now compared to years ago when there was a set formula and a way to get a book out. But let's talk about making sure that you're partnering with the right person who really has that proven expertise. Because the wrong person, you may invest a lot of money there or time, and you're spinning your wheels. You're not getting the results that you want. So can we talk a little bit about that?
Yes, for me, and again, this is my personal life experience. There are a lot of people out there that are claiming to be PR experts, publishers, and many of them, their entire background was, I was this person, and I got myself on TV, or I wrote a book and it became an Amazon bestseller, and I can teach you how to do that. For me, I like to look at someone's entire background. Like me, I'm unique because I actually have an educational background in media, and I can look at the history of propaganda, for example, and broadcast history, TV, and I can look at where it has been and where it's going. And like I said, that's how my big claim to fame was. I was able to look at history and to say, oh, look at this. Here we are. We had newspapers, magazines, radio, TV, the internet, and then, of course, social media, and publishing. When Kindle, Amazon made it so that people could upload their own books, it shifted everything, and it literally created entire new industries. So if somebody came to me and said, well, how would I know? Of course, you want to talk to them directly, have a good rapport, ask them about their background. How did they get their experience? Do they have experience? What types of books are they publishing? Because if you're someone who would like to publish a novel or a children's book, that is an entirely different project than a business project. I would say that I have worked with people and I have helped them with their children's books. I have done novels because my mother's work were poetry and novels. But my expertise really is in marketing style collaboration books. And the way that happened was interesting, because I had a podcast and I was trying to figure out, well, what else can I do with these wonderful interviews I was having with all these women? And that literally was how Women Innovators Publishing was born. And it turned into about 10 different collaboration books. And I leveraged all those books for the people in them with my publicity services, with press releases, with other podcast appearances, with TV appearances. So they were able to literally leverage that one chapter that they provided for my Women Innovators book series. And so, I have a little bit of a different experience. But if you were to like talk to a publisher, and the red flags for me, and this is because a lot of people borrow from the old school publishing. A red flag in today's environment for publishers is they want to publish the book to their, if this is your private book, they want to publish it to their Kindle account, and you don't have direct control. You always want to have your own private Kindle account so that you have control if it's your book. Obviously, a collaborative book, you wouldn't have that type of control. But in your solo book, you want to upload it into your own Amazon Kindle account so that you can control the prices, you can control where it is distributed. And if you go, oh my God, I have a typo, you can fix it within minutes. Or if you wanted to change the cover, you can fix it. If a publisher has it in their account, guess what? Make a change, make a charge. And a good example is my sister had some work published, and there was an error on the cover. And it cost $250 for her to change one thing on the cover because of the publisher. So always, in this hybrid publishing environment, think about that. I want you to keep your control. Rights, copyrights. For example, when I have someone in one of my collaborative books, I say, okay, I'm going to publish this first. However, once it's published, you can use your information for your own marketing. If you wanted to use it for your blog or something, go ahead. Just let you know, you cannot publish it. You cannot have two duplicate things. Like they couldn't publish it separately under their own name, just because then they would, Amazon in their checks will go, oh, this is already copyrighted under this book. So but they could use it for any type of marketing they want. And then of course, the pricing is all over the place with publishing. There are some bigger names that will charge, 20, 30, 40, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then there's some smaller hybrids that are a lot less. But you always want to look at, well, what is it that you're getting in this project? And again, if you're a solo author, that's an entirely different scenario. If you're in a collaborative book, sometimes it's, we're going to publish your book. That's it. Make sure, do you get author credit on Amazon? Do they make you an author central page? Do they do any press? Do they do any pre-publicity, post-publicity? What is it? Do they give you graphics? Do they give you any training? Often with publishers, it's like, we'll publish your book. That's it. But when someone works with someone like me, it's like, we're going to have conversations. I'm going to talk to you about how to leverage this beyond the bestseller. Because all of my books, I always do marketing campaigns on them. So I know, yes, I'm going to guarantee it'll be a bestseller because I work on it until it's a bestseller. And those are all things that you need to look at with these. And don't just be in a book and then go, oh, next. That is not the way to leverage yourself for the impact, influence, and the income. And I just want to make a statement about the income. Do not think that you're going to make your money from sales of books. That is a big psychological error. What you want to think about is, how am I going to use my book or my collaboration book as a foundation? Because maybe I am a coach, maybe I am a speaker, or maybe you're a real estate professional, a financial professional, some type of professional, but you understand the power of being an author. Right now, I'm working with some laser doctors, and they are all going to have books related to laser, which is class 4 lasers are very hot in the medical field right now because they actually are no drugs, no surgery type healing. So it's a really big, important thing. And they're going to use their books, to give to their patients. They're going to do book signings. They're going to do podcast interviews. They're going to be on TV. All of those are to leverage that book. They're not thinking that that book is going to automatically, hey, I'm going to give a book to this person and they're going to become my patient. They're thinking, oh, I'm going to give this book to this patient. They're going to read it, educate themselves, and choose me because I am the celebrity. I am the expert. I am the author of this book. And I'm perceived as the only choice in the sea of all the other possibilities. So that's how I look at all of this. You're muted.
I am muted. Yes, I am. I want to do a rewind a little bit on what you said about individuals need to understand what it is that they get, because we're talking about key partnerships. So this is a partner with that media publicist, expert, or publisher.
Yeah.
and understanding what it is that they're bringing to the table. What is it that you're investing in? Because unless it's a free publication, more than likely you're investing, as you said, it may be only $1,000. It could be tens of thousands of dollars to be in a particular project. But what I'm finding, Tammy, is most people who jump in, and I want to just stick with collaborative books right now, they don't understand the business of the collaborative book. They celebrate, yay, I'm an author.
Yeah.
That's a good one. It may have been a bucket list item, check. But if you said, as you said, if you want to go beyond the bestseller, if you're really looking to increase your impact and your influence and ultimately create this revenue stream, you have to understand the business of authorship.
Yes.
And that's kind of my lane coming in, understanding the business side of it and developing those plans, developing those strategies. So then when they have these meaningful conversations with individuals such as you, now you can adjust what it is that you're offering to meet their ultimate need. Because you said something that was pretty profound to me, to make sure that whoever you're partnering with is working with you with your best interest in mind, not that
Exactly.
it's this is what I want to do and this is how we're going to do it. Because I've met a couple like that. In fact, it's one person. I have to share this story, and I want to get your feedback on this because you do have so many years of breadth and depth of experience, not and applied knowledge, applied proven practices. And I was talking to an individual who is a publisher, and actually I was referring her to her clients that you might be a pipeline program for her. And she was listening and she thought, okay, well, it sounds good. Well, I'll get some more information. Well, the next thing I knew, I got a call. They said, oh, we saw this program where this individual is on. Now, all of a sudden, she's literally 1 week after my conversation with her, where she says she's never had any experience in this arena, is now promoting that she has experience in getting people on TV, on podcasts, that she does all this media training. And I thought, how sad. How sad, because I know what she told me, but now we have this bait and switch or this pretense. So someone's going to go in there expecting to get something, invest their hard-earned money, and get something very superficial. So how can an author vet? I guess that's what I want to say. Truly vet that someone is who they say that they are and can deliver to the best of their ability. Nothing's guaranteed. I get that, but to the best of their ability can deliver what they promise.
Well, nothing is easy. It's all work. It's funny that you would say that because I just got done doing 4 weeks of media training with 10 professionals. And let's just say it was hard work for them because they had to take their knowledge and bring it down to 3 minutes for TV interviews. And I did group and then I did one-on-one, and I had to laugh because in our one-to-one, you talk more personally, and they were all going, oh my God, this is a lot of work. And I said, yeah, because we're narrowing it down, to talking points and sound bites so that you can get your point across in 3 minutes. So, for example, I have samples of people, my clients who've been on television. And so I can say, and in my trainings, I use my clients and I show, the people that are in the training, okay, here are examples. And then I point out, like, okay, here's the props, here's the costume, what they wore, here's their talking points. Listen to the introduction. I call it my $1 billion intro that I write for them because it was supposed to be million, but I had a typo. And I said, well, it really is 1 billion because, 1 million isn't worth as much as it used to be. But the intro, and I said, listen to how these people are introduced by the hosts of the shows, for example. So I would say, ask them, directly, how many people have you helped get on TV, or have they been on television themselves? Most people start by being on TV or podcast themselves. And if they have a background, or some people are naturals, but that's kind of rare, then they'll start saying, oh, I did this for me, I can help you do this. Every time I see anyone who trains or says that they help people get on TV, I, of course, join their group, and I listen, and I try to see where they're coming from. But samples of their clients on TV, and listen to the interviews. Are they good interviews? The press releases, again, a lot of people, I always kind of red flag all the publicists who say press releases don't work. And I'm going, okay, you're talking about old school press releases. Because now it's very difficult to send a press release out unless it's to the local newspaper. But when you use the press releases of today, you get picked up by all of the online media. It grows your online footprint, and you can have your videos embedded in them. You can have Google Maps if you're a brick and mortar company. They're not the press releases of yesteryear, where you used to send them to the local paper in hopes that you'd either get a news item, or they'd assign a reporter to you. But I would say look for examples, talk to them, ask them about their experience, what's your intuition, your gut take on them, because most people who are not authentic cannot keep it up. They can't keep up the facade or the persona of being the expert, because if you don't have the experience, you don't have the experience. And
can I say something real quick? I just want to interject here. So we've had our relationship for 4 years, and it's been an awesome education for me, knowing, okay, LaWanna, stay in your lane and let Tami do what she does best. But before, and this is something you don't know, before I said yes to Blue Ocean Authority and Women Innovators Publishing, I did a test with a press release. And you said, LaWanna, I can get you in USA Today. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see. I had someone else who said the same thing. Well, that person got me in, I don't know, publications I never even heard of. It was like, Waka Waka News Media. I just never, I'm like, okay, how can I use this? But you immediately produced everything that you've told me that you could do. You did. And that to me was, and that was just my way. I said, okay, I've got two people who are saying they can offer similar things. Let's test them out. But I had the money to invest in that way. Most people don't. So I hope that those of you who are listening to Dr. Tamara, aka Tami Patzer, are really leaning into what she's saying and understand how to vet. First, understanding what it is that you're trying to do, why you're trying to do it, what kind of partner will best fit you, and then don't be afraid to ask the questions. To those of you who are joining us, we're on Power of the Pen with special guest Dr. Tami Patzer. Thank you to our E360 TV community who are joining us, and also to those on Roku, Apple TV, Samsung TV, and who may be joining us by Facebook. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to have some time so that you can get to know Tami a little bit more, but I want to take a little break right now.
Oh, cool.
I wanted to show this because this is actually one of my books that's been in the process for quite some time. And Tammy occasionally gives me a ring or knocks on my door and says, LaWanna, hello, where are we with that book? But I bring that to your attention because it will be published under the guidance of Tammy, the Blue Ocean Authority, and Women's Innovative Publishing. But again, through just understanding what I need to do to create awareness. So this is sort of like the prequel of what's to come. And that's what her authority helps you to do. It helps you to get out of your own way, because I can be so methodical and analytical that it's like it's analysis creates paralysis. So this book will be coming out. And I also love that she gave me and I'm not going to share this tip, but she gave me an innovative way to write this book to create greater ease and greater impact. So I want you to hear what I just said. She's taking away the angst and giving me an innovative way to create greater ease and greater impact with the messages that are going to be in this book. And that's why I want to celebrate and just salute the brilliance that she brings to the table. And I want to encourage all of you who are listening, who are authors or want to be authors, or maybe even seasoned authors, reach out, have a conversation, find out what she's doing, what her team of experts are doing, and how you might be able to create a partnership so that it's truly a win-win. Tammy, I want to take myself down right now and just give you some time to talk to the audience and share with any upcoming books that you have, collaborations that you have, and any of the training and other services that you may wish to share. Is that good?
Oh, sounds good to me. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So I love that LaWanna showed you the book that she's working on. So what I've been working on is I have a lot of collaborative author opportunities, and one that would probably fit you if you are someone who is either a brand new, never been author, but you want to be recognized as an expert, or if you have been in other collaborative books, but you really want to be positioned as that expert, celebrity, go-to person. One of my collaborative books is called Expert Profiles, and we're actually coming up on, I think, maybe volume 17. And I do believe LaWanna was actually featured in that book at one point. But why I like Expert Profiles is because it's a book that's done in an interview style, and we focus on you and your background. And of course, we ask you questions that are designed to position you as the expert authority. And that book actually is published in both digital format and paperback format. And you're able to participate in a bestseller campaign, and it's guaranteed to become a #1 bestseller on Amazon. And we also train you on how to use that expert book and that status in your marketing, and you get press release written about it and some other media. So that would be what I would call a really good starter foundational opportunity. And then what I've been doing lately a lot of is actually media training. And I wanted to share this because it struck me the other day. I just got a new car, and it has, the free trial of Sirius XM. So I'm listening to some show, and these DJs are talking about all the famous people they've interviewed. They were talking about Madonna and just comedians, just all kinds of people who'd come into their studios. And Madonna, it struck me because they said, yeah, Madonna came in and it was obvious she did not want to be there. and she was not a good interview. And here, these people have you on their show live, and you go in and you don't want to answer any questions, or you say to them, no, I won't answer any questions. And so they're moaning and groaning about her and a bunch of other people. And I just thought that was funny, because one of the DJs said, these people, it doesn't matter how famous they are, they need media training. And I'm listening, I'm going, wow, that is interesting, coming from the mouths of DJs who talk to famous people all day long over the phone or in the studio. So I actually have a media training that works really well for authors, and it includes a real appearance on television. And what it is, it's a group training, and I limit it to no more than 10 to 12 people. And we meet once a week for an hour and a half as a group. And I give you everything you need to come up with your talking points to be on a 3-minute TV interview. I do your $1 billion bio. We use everyone in the group as examples, and we practice in the group. And then, of course, I do a 1-to-1 with everyone. And then you're able to be featured on a 3 to 5 minute interview, actually in Tucson, Arizona. And that is a really good opportunity, because if you're an author or wannabe author, you could do the expert profiles and then do the media training, talking about the fact that you are an author, and then you are on TV. So, and I forgot, I also interview you on one of my shows. So you get all kinds of what I call that real life experience. You're prepared. So if you have aspirations to be on a big show, and back in the day, the big show used to be, everybody wanted to be on Oprah. I think she still has shows, but big shows would be like Today, CBS This Morning, Good Morning America, or The Doctors, or whatever the shows are now, Tamara Hall, whoever the Kelly, the singer, I can't think of her last name because she changed her name. So I forgot. So those, I think if you're thinking about, I just would like to be in a collaborative book, and I really want to be known as an expert. I want to share my big message, my big mission, and do that, then the expert profiles would be a really good opportunity. And I actually have an expert profiles coming out in October now. It comes out quarterly. So no matter when you're listening to this interview, that will always be an opportunity. And like I said, we're up to, I think, volume 16 or 17 now. And normally what makes this project better than many collaborative books is that typically there's only 7 to 10 people in each book. The interviews are all done. I do the interviews personally. And of course, that means that we're going to have a good conversation about what it is that we want to do to position you. And then, of course, it has the built-in marketing with the international bestseller campaign, and the pre and post press releases go with it, and graphics. And then if you wanted to do the media training with the TV, that literally will prepare you not only for TV, because if you can do something in 3 minutes, guess what? You can now do interviews that are 5, 10, 20, a half an hour, all the way to a keynote address, because you have boiled your talking points and your message down into very succinct messages that are easy to expand on with additional stories and the power of that. So that's what I would say. And again, I have many more opportunities, but the Expert Profiles book And then the media training for guaranteed TV would be just either one of those would be the perfect opportunity for anyone.
I love that. This is, I hope everyone just reaches out, has a conversation with you just to see how you might be able to leverage this. And when you were saying that the media training and you can get on TV in Tucson, right now I'm back in Arizona, my second home, so I'm only an hour from Tucson, so we have to have a we have to have a conversation.
And it's a good show. I mean, I worked really hard during COVID to connect with TV shows all around the country. And I actually have about 25 or 30 shows now available that I can book people on. But I actually was interviewed on the show in Tucson, and it's a very high quality production. It's a great opportunity for going on the set. And here's a little thing that many people, when you can be on TV now, either via Zoom or go into the studio live. And just to tell you, it does not matter where you are on TV, because you're going to take that interview and leverage it for your marketing. And many people get stuck on, oh, where is it airing? And it's like, it doesn't matter. It's not about that at all. That's just, you're going to end up with your 3 to 5 minute video that is produced by a television station. So that's really important with that. And I thought of you, yes, because you are so close to Tucson. It's a great opportunity.
Yes, yes. This has been amazing. Media training, contact her at TamiPatzer.com. I love this, that you have the group, but then you do a deeper dive with one-on-one, and you have the opportunity to get on TV. So again, this is not streaming TV platform as E360, but it is a different lane, and how you can leverage those exposures. That is what Tami again includes in her training. And one of the things that we offer, and you know this, Tami, is we give Barbara Beckley and I do an intro training to what you're doing. So it's like a platform where we talk about, you may have this brilliant and wonderful message. Like right now, Tami and I have been talking for almost 50 minutes. The likelihood that you're going to get 50 minutes on any one stage is going to be far and few in between. And so being able to take the message that she's actually delivered today, she is skilled enough to now translate it into a 3-minute soundbite that has the same level of impact and influence that she wants to have. And so we provide the introduction, the kind of like the awareness, but then I'm not the expert here. I can provide the awareness, give you kind of the guardrails, and then I say, okay, Tami, take it away, help them to, further refine their message. So it has been, in my opinion, just a wonderful partnership that is continuing to develop and to evolve. And when you have solid partnerships that are built on trust, then it starts to evolve into something more. Then you can actually say, I can call this person friend because I truly trust Tami with my message. And that's kind of hard to do because my message has my name around it. The Bradford Group is my name. It's who I am. So I don't trust it freely with anyone. And I say that to just say that she is a woman of integrity, a woman who delivers what she says she's going to do, but also a woman who has proven results again and again and again. I mean, this bestseller, I got to put it up here, campaign that you can be a part of, this collaborative book, Expert Profiles, Volume 17. Hello. Why would she have 17 if it didn't have proven success records, right? She has a track record. So if you want to be a part of a book where you can tell your story, reach out and just get the information, right, Tami?
Yeah, and I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter. I mean, you can find me under either my full name, Tamara Patzer, or under Tami, Tami. but I've been out there long enough that you can find all kinds of interviews I've done, and I have a lot of what I would call a mom energy. I will work with you so that you feel comfortable and confident, and you will see that transformation. A lot of the work that we do with messaging and marketing, really, it's about developing that confidence so that you can go speak and really show the world who you are. And I think that's really important, that that when you do your book, when you do your marketing, it is it's personal development, because you will become a more confident speaker, a more confident person, and you will grow your income, because will also open up all of this positive energy and attract really good things to you, because you're like on the right path, your personal path.
I love that. I'm going to show one small ad, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Tami to give the closing remarks before we sign out, because we're almost out of time. So this is for if you want to be a guest on Power of the Pen. I'll tell you a little bit how you can do that.
Wow.
All right. Well, Tami, I'm going to give you 1 minute to leave any lasting golden nuggets for our viewing audience.
Okay, so take the opportunity that LaWanna just offered to be a guest on Power of the Pen. That would be your first step of creating a foundation. If you are an author and want to be on TV or be on podcasts or leverage that author status, contact me and we'll just have a conversation about how to do it. And if you're not an author yet and you're like, wow, I'd really like to be known as an expert, reach out about that and we'll do the Expert Profiles book. It's extremely affordable and you get a lot of marketing with it. And let me tell you, when you are on TV, that is instant authority, and everything I do is guaranteed. And like LaWanna said, I have a proven track record. So just contact me. It's really easy, TamiPatzer.com, Facebook, LinkedIn. Reach out and we'll just have a great conversation. Thank you, LaWanna.
Thank you so much, Tami, for being a part of Power of the Pen, our key resource for you and our viewing audience. Please reach out to Tami and have the conversation. It doesn't cost you anything to have a conversation. And I promise you will not be sorry. And to our listening audience, thank you so much for joining us again, as always, on E360 TV. Those in our streaming platform, thank you. Facebook viewers, Roku, Apple TV, and Samsung TV. Join us every week on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for Power of the Pen. Remember that your voice matters. Take up the power of the pen. And as always, in life and in business, when opportunity intersects with your vision, success is inevitable. Until next time. Thank you, Tami.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, LaWanna.